All right, we're on the air. So if you have a question and this is my microphone, by the way. If you have a question and you're here watching, you can ask your questions now. Come on in and join. No viewers as of yet. There we go. Now the logo's a little bit wonky, but it's all good. Let's see if I can fix the logo here. No, it didn't change anything. All right, nobody's watching. So I'm just going to sit in here until somebody decides to come in and start asking questions, talking about what we got going on Facebook right now. And I'll be happy to answer them live. So I got the Q&A up. So if you have a question, find it. There should be a link there to ask a question, and I will address those questions as you send them in. Hello, hello. Welcome to the very first The Dirty Christian live chat for all 0 of you that are watching. Just waiting for anybody to join that wants to ask your questions. La, da, 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 da. I'll just sing until somebody comes in. How about that? La dee dee da dee da. Come on in, folks. Ask your questions. Just reading through some of these posts on the page right now, which is what prompted me, because people said, well, you wouldn't say it, these things that you're saying, you wouldn't technically say to my face or say to the face of someone else. So I'm happy to do it live. If you have questions or concerns, comments, anything like that. Well, you don't believe that she's a man, but biologically speaking, he is. So a lot of people seem to be pretty upset about this Bruce Jenner thing that I posted. And I find that fascinating, that Christians can be so narrow-minded when it comes to how God actually views sin. And to me, that's dangerous. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Yes, no one actually wants to engage with me live, they'd prefer to just type something. Launch it on the web if you don't have the Hangout app on your phone. Appears that people are having a problem trying to watch this. You should be able to watch. I guess maybe you need an app to watch it on your phone. Still don't have any viewers. Still no viewers. Well, I just will hang out here until somebody comes in and talks to me. Just follow the link and open the app. Try that. What's your Gmail? Let's see. Ask them, what's your Gmail name? Da 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 da. Let's try this. Get Carter in here. Sounds like a notification. I got a notification and it's not showing me anything. How does it work that way? Come watch. Come watch this chat. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
What's up, man?
Not much. Probably gonna eat dinner in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. That's same with me.
Hey, what church do you go to? You go to a Baptist church, right?
I do. I go to a Southern Baptist church, but
Mm-hmm.
it was not. That's not my denomination of choice. It's it's really kind of weird how God worked that out because we were going to a charismatic Pentecostal church for a long time, and it was just kind of far away, and it was hard to get involved in like community group stuff and anything after Sunday. And they didn't really have a youth group program for any of my kids. It was
Mm.
an older age range, and so we were looking for churches that were closer to our area, and we found this church called The Bridge. And I started, I looked at their Facebook page and looked at all their website stuff, and saw that it was actually it seemed to be pretty community oriented and had a lot of stuff for kids and stuff. So we did we tried it out, and initially it was kind of it's different because you go from a charismatic background where you're used to hearing people speak in tongues, and
Yeah.
you know the praise and worship is a little bit different. You could be praising and worshiping for an hour at a
Mm-hmm.
service, and then you go to a place where it's like, okay, guys, we're doing 4 songs, and hopefully people will clap along or raise their hands. And
Yeah.
but it's definitely where God has put us. And I don't. My wife and I were talking about this last night. It's kind of one of those things where, um, you when you're out of that environment, the charismatic environment, for long enough, you can really start to kind of like ask yourself, was it really doing anything for me in the first place? I mean, was there any difference in what I'm experiencing now in a non-charismatic environment? And then it's caused me a lot of reflection in the sense of, uh, maybe some of that stuff really is just an emotional experience for people, and
Yeah.
it's not really. Uh,
Spirit oriented.
yeah, I mean, I guess it can be edifying a little bit, but it just seems, I don't know. It feels sometimes it can be kind of selfish, like,
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
I
when you're in worship, I mean, there's usually a fine line between emotion and the spirit, and a lot of people tend to not be able to actually find that line. So it's, and I've been to one charismatic church. I was there for one service, and I went, oh boy, uh,
yeah,
because I was well, I'm only 17, so I guess I wasn't necessarily like raised yet, but I've been raised in Calvary Chapel, and there's only
okay,
been like two biblically sound doctrine churches here, because you need to remember, I'm in Utah.
right,
Everybody's Mormon,
right,
and
absolutely,
it's pretty interesting evangelizing here, to say the least. Um,
yeah, because everybody already thinks that they're Christians.
yeah, and they speak Christianese, if that makes sense, but they
Oh,
have
sure,
completely messed up terms.
yeah,
And so usually when you evangelize, and you have to really refine it down. And they say they're not a works-based religion, but they are. I've read the Book of Mormon cover to
oh,
cover.
oh, sure,
I
yeah.
don't like what I read. I didn't like what I read. For
Well, that's why you're not a
example,
Mormon.
yeah, Second Nephi 25:14 says that they're saved by grace after all they can do.
Mm.
after all they can do. Yeah. And then if you repent and then you sin again, all of your former sins return back to you.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. And I'm like, that's not forgiveness, like that's not forgiveness.
No, it certainly isn't unconditional anyway.
Yeah, not at all. It's works based. I mean, and there's also Freemasons here.
Oh, sure.
Those guys are nuts. I've gotten a lot of threats by them.
Wow.
Because they are, well, Mormons pagan as is, because they believe that they're three separate entities. They don't believe in the Trinity.
Right.
And then if they're Masonic, they also believe in the architect, so it's four different gods.
Right,
And
which is actually very much what the Matrix was based on.
yeah, yeah. If you and it's difficult trying to break that down for them, and I've been told to exhort people, and I do.
Yeah.
I have the gift of evangelism and exhortation. That usually doesn't go hand in hand.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, and I see that on the page. I mean, for first of all, for being 17, I wish that I could go back in time, 17, and feel as fervent and passionate about the word as you do. I mean, that's commendable, man. And I know it's not you, and I know it's not,
Yeah, it's not.
you're not,
It's not me.
but it shows that you had an experience with Jesus. And to me, I still wrestle with this predestination thing a lot. Like, it's not something that I think I'll ever fully grasp or understand until I'm looking at Jesus face to face and maybe asking him. But the more that I wrestle with it, the more that I see just that what's done is already done.
Yeah,
And that is why that you see people that are just so solidly founded because of the choice, just because they are saved. And it's like, I don't know you personally, but I could use you as an example, saying like, you had an experience with God based on free will, that God knew
yeah,
that you would choose him. And so you are solidified and sanctified, and you are in him now as a child of God.
yeah.
And nothing that happens, even if you decide to take a vacation from your faith, in a valley somewhere, nothing will change that, because you will always have that.
That foundation.
Yeah, and and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you read the word and you read these concepts and these principles in the Bible, it just makes sense because it's truth, and there's no other way to
Yeah.
really describe that. You're just like, that's truth. That's just the
All
word of
right.
God and real.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you. I got two things to tell you, but I got to run to dinner first.
Of course.
I will go over my testimony with you. I think you'd find that pretty interesting,
Yeah.
as well as the reason why I'm fervent in it is I did really kind of have a freaky encounter.
Hmm.
I was really fervent about it before, but a few weeks ago I actually had like this vision, and it's confirmed vision, and a lot of people have actually had it. And I was talking to my pastor about it,
Hmm.
and I'd like to go over that with you. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty freaky and awesome. Um, but yeah, I gotta run to dinner.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the same. So I tell you what, you're in Utah. It's like 6 o'clock here. So you want to say maybe meet up in like an hour?
Sure.
Sounds good. I'll post another link, and hopefully maybe we can get some other people to join us too.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, brother, for coming in. I appreciate it.
Sure. See ya.
All right. Bye.